And while she's there we go. And while she's doing that, I want to introduce you guys to Caroline. She is the director of productivity for KW Luxury in our company. She is also an investor, realtor, runs a highly successful team. And so really wanted to bring her here. I had her join our Jacksonville ALC last year, and just amazing nuggets, and thought this would be a great opportunity for you guys to ask questions, pick her brain, and her share best practices. So Caroline, we are so excited and honored to have you here, and we'll let you take it away.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Hi, Mark. I see Mark. He's so great, always engaged. My name is Caroline Bowe. I am based out of the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been in real estate for the last 18, almost 19 years, and was the first 11 years with another brokerage, and since 2015 has been with KW. I am still in full-time production. I am the lead listing agent for my team. And January of last year, I was tapped on the shoulder to join Brady and help lead the community of luxury. And so we're doing a lot of great things behind the scenes for y'all. I cannot wait to announce some of our marketing offerings at Family Reunion. It's going to be wonderful for the market center and for the agents as well. So I've had some questions come up about, how to find luxury clients right now. And right now, I don't know. See, I'm on an iPad. My computer just crashed, so I'm just looking everywhere. So here, there's camera. So for right now, everybody's saying, where do you find your clients? And it really has to be the for sure, the 60s. I don't know if you've heard about the 60s, and that's death, divorce, right? So death and divorce, obvious, and diapers is when they have children, their family's growing, and then disaster, unfortunately. Florida, California right now experience some disasters. People will need to sell and find other places to live. Dividend, what does dividend mean? Jane Papasan threw that in. And that just means if they've come through an infusion of cash, they've got bonuses. Deployment means not just military, but maybe they're being relocated. So that's an opportunity to sell a home and to refer to purchase. And for me, what I believe is always, you don't want to be fake, right? And you don't want to be chasing them. And I think there are really three important things. Number one is to meet them where they are. So if you have an interest, find out where these people are. Where do they go? What do they attend? What do they like? And be there. Only if it's interesting to you. So if you are interested in wine, why not join a wine club or a social club? If you're enjoying yachting and boating, why not go there? But definitely don't go there if you get seasick, right? And you don't join a wine club if you don't enjoy wine, but just be genuine, because people can tell whether you are or not. So joining those, putting yourself out there, not only are you enjoying what you're experiencing, you're meeting people with the same hobbies, and you can connect more. So meet them where they are. Number two is for the luxury market is look who surrounds them. When they are making these major life decisions, who's at the table with them, and can you be at the table with them too? What do you need to know? How do you need to present to be invited to the table? So they have wealth advisors, they have CPAs, they have attorneys, estate attorneys, tax attorneys. They have all of these people advising them, why are we not at the table? So really find out who do they surround themselves with and be in business with them. And I say this, and I believe in this 100%, is because our $20 million listing came from a divorce attorney. Our $8 million purchase came from a wealth manager. So we get so specific is that I really believe in empowering women. And so I was invited to speak. So number three is kind of meet them where they are, be invited to speak. And I spoke to a panel of wealth managers specifically geared towards women. And I was invited back several times. And through that, we generated many referrals just from that event alone. So what do you need to know to be able to be invited to speak and be present in front of these people? And number three is really network with your KW family. The amount of referrals that are going back and forth, we just looked at the numbers, over $15 billion in referrals last year, just within the KW network, 15 billion. And Eric Copper, who is our regional ambassador from Texas, he just received a $15 million listing in London. He's spending part-time in London. I saw a referral go right in front of my eyes, a $12 million referral. So somebody said, Caroline, who do you know here? So I grabbed this person, introduced them with another person, matched them. It was a $12 million referral. So attending the Keller Williams events, in-person events, being engaged, not just attending, being engaged, meet people, ask people to join you, have a Q&A with people from New York. When we saw that a lot of the referrals were coming in from New York, coming in from Colorado, and then we saw a lot of referrals go out to Colorado, to Florida. We started inviting the top agents from these areas to come onto our team meetings and learn more about their market so that we could easily make that referral. So I think really plugging in, because we have the largest luxury network there is, bigger than Compass, bigger than Sotheby's, bigger than Douglas Elliman. And if you really plug in, there's really just so much potential. So those are really the questions of how do I look for business? That is really what I would say.
I love that. Anybody have any questions or additions to that for where they're finding here in Naples and how they've plugged into, you know, that luxury market?
How are y'all finding business now? Are they coming to you? Are you going out? Are you hunting for business? Hi, Mark.
Hi. I would say success leaves clues. And obviously, there are agents within our market center. There are agents within Keller Williams that you can learn from. And there are agents in our local market that are not yet with Keller Williams. And so I wouldn't copy everything that someone else does, but I would look for those clues of where agents are getting business. And one of the things that I found to learn more about what other agents are doing is to go to either broker open houses or go to agent consumer open houses, public open houses on Sundays, and engage with those agents, talk with them. And depending on the time of the year, you may be the only person that shows up for an hour at that open house. So they're a captive audience for you to tap and have conversation. Obviously, you don't want to make yourself a nuisance, but going there frequently and getting to know them, you know, there's nothing worse when you have a luxury property or you're working with a luxury buyer and you show up for a showing and the agent on the other end looks at you as if they've never met you before. So when you show up and you say to them, it's nice to see you, instead of my name is Mark Benson, it carries weight and credibility with your client. So yes, getting to know other agents, and oftentimes they open up and start to share what they're seeing in their market. And then it opens the door for you to ask questions. So again, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and that's why we do a lot more listening than we do talking. But look for that thread that you can pull in a conversation. What do you see happening in the marketplace? How did you might ask, if you get to know them a little bit better, how did you get this listing? And they might say it's their sphere of influence. They might say it's a referral, might be an expired. But if you get on a communication level with them and you go, like, you don't have to go there every weekend to every open house they do, but if you quarterly get out and meet them or even monthly see them, then when they run into you someplace else, they remember who you are, and that helps to build connections. And ask them, what books are they reading? Who's influencing them?
I love that. How about you, Amanda?
We are studying for Mastermind.
Hi, how are you? So I'm just starting into the luxury market, so I'm definitely learning as I go. So far, mine has been from referrals. So just putting my name out there that I am able to do that. But again, I'm just scratching the surface on all of this. So
Amanda's been really successful. She's had some really amazing listings, and that's another example of your database and how important that is, right? So how can you align yourself with clients, people with large databases? So you look around and say, who would have a large database? And how do I get to know them? And it's a very, very easy call. And I've told anybody who is an estate attorney, and I would say, I would go to my database now and say, go on Facebook or go on Instagram. Who is the best estate attorney that I can refer, right? Or better yet, pick up the phone and start calling and say, Erica, it's so great to, talk with you. I just have a quick question. I look to you as somebody who knows the best of the best. Who would be the best estate attorney you would recommend? Or who is the best wealth manager you could recommend for women or something like that? And they'll give you the name. Great, fantastic. May I use your name when I contact Amanda? Sure, great. Amanda, hello, this is Caroline Guo. I'm so glad you picked up the phone. Thank you so much. I was referred to you by Erica. Do you have a few minutes? Sure, absolutely. Well, people come to me every week asking me for the best of Naples. And I consistently get asked who is the best wealth manager and or estate attorney, and your name came up. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about your business, because I love to refer business to you. Would she say yes or no? Most likely she would say yes.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
so it's a very easy way to get engagement with the attorney or whoever you're speaking with, learn about their business. You can potentially send business their way if you like them and you believe that they will really serve your clientele. And then vice versa, ask for an opportunity. I love to earn the opportunity to interview with some of your clients as well. And so you get that listing or get that buyer, and you serve the heck out of it, and you make their job look. You make the attorney look good or the wealth manager look good, and you make their job easy. Guess who they're going to refer next time? So if you look at our business, a lot of our business, despite the shift, we're doing pretty well because 25% of our business are these estate attorneys and wealth managers. And they're the ones referring to us, and fiduciaries as well. So when people pass away and they don't have a will, or they don't have relatives, the court will appoint a fiduciary. And so we get the call all the time. We don't even have to interview now because we serve them so well. So who else do you know with large databases? Who would that be?
That's wonderful. How about you, Josh?
Hi, I'm here. I don't know if I have good signal or not. I love this conversation. If my signal's bad, just let me know. It's like going in and out, but I love this conversation. Right now, we are actually seeing a fair amount of past client. Oh, hi, Caroline. Nice to meet you. Sorry, I just went right in there. I've been listening. I'm replacing a fan for an upcoming listing right now. So, but right now we're seeing a lot of past clients, either second or third home, or refer a friend, refer a family member kind of thing. This property right here actually was from a past luxury sale, and a family member died, and so they're offloading it. But we're also seeing a good amount of buyers from 3 to 5 years ago who bought in that 500 to 700 range, who are now, they have a lot more value than they did then. And I mean, there's a lot more people are coming out of the woodworks essentially. And I think for us, it's just following up with our database that we've had before. But I've been trying to focus on how I can build my network. And so I love this conversation of connect with those professionals. It's the thought that you've had to yourself for so long, and then someone else says it, it's a light bulb that finally turns on. So I'm glad to essentially just feel invigorated to go down that path of expanding that network. I also think it's an interesting time for some people, because there's still that qualm of what's the market going to do, and we can only have this conversation so many times before it's a revolving door of nonsense. But I do see a lot of people sitting on the fence still, but a lot of people have come down from that fence, which is really good to see. I had recently about $3 million worth of buyers just come out of the woodworks, essentially. So it's a good thing to see that their perspective on the market is changing. Obviously, we're the purveyors of that information, but ultimately, I think being in front of as many people as possible, just like you've said in several different ways, being in front of as many people as possible and being, what's the word? Not modern, but up to point or something. Just being in front of people and being, I really want to get this word. I'm not going to think of it. Anyways, it's important. Sorry.
No, I love that. So I would challenge you to build a GPS around it. When you say, okay, I have this idea of being in front of more people, what value can I add, and build your database there, put a GPS around, do Q1. And the buyers coming out, and you said you hit it right in the only head, is that we need to control the narrative, right? So if we come out and so everybody's saying the sky is falling, housing market is the worst, and blah, 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 how many years, we're saying, no, I'm really excited about this market. For us in the Bay Area, we have not seen this market of opportunity in the last 10 years. So once things stabilize and because there's so much pent up demand, and still a lot of cash where we are. So the interest rates start to stabilize, you see, things are calming down, inflation's getting a little bit more under control. They're going to come back out of the woodwork. So do you want to compete with those people again? Right. So it's how you frame things for your clients. I don't know what your market is like right now, but you have to be the thought leader.
Yeah, I think
when you're the thought leader, you get invited to speak.
Yeah, that's actually a really good avenue that I would definitely look into. I think one of the problems I find with advising people is they don't necessarily believe what I have to say, which ultimately is up to everybody. So I find myself just finally asking this question: if what I'm saying is true and the market is not going to tank, I don't believe it's going to, and more people are going to come out of the woodwork. If you ultimately believe that, are you going to change your mind about what you're going to do within the real estate market? And it kind of floors people, because I think some people, they have it so ingrained in their mind. The 08-09 crash, everybody was so wrong about that. I think they're overcorrecting themselves on what's potentially going to happen here. And so when I ask that question, they just kind of go ghost white. And then eventually they just realize that they don't want to do anything. But either way, I try to keep it friendly and be the purveyor of as much honest information as I possibly can. Right. I agree with you. We can't convince them, and there are going to be people who are going to be on the sidelines. That's totally fine. We don't have to convince them. We just keep dripping them, touching them. And I don't know if you say I don't think I can say touch anymore. Keep dripping them, keep advising them, keep in touch with them, right? Yeah. And then just focus on the ones that are. And then show your success. And once they see that you're seeing success in this market, that people are buying, that people are selling, and they're seeing great success, they're going to they kind of feel left out. We've seen that in our market as well. Yeah, I also liked what you said earlier. I was just thinking about it. Oh yeah, find your niche, essentially, where you can meet people who are in this high net worth class, but something that you enjoy. And I think that's key, because we're like, okay, I want to meet all the wealthy people. And then we put ourselves in these situations that we don't enjoy, and we look disingenuous, and they see it on our faces. So it was on point what you said. Thank you. Thank you. And just talk to everybody. One of our largest referrals came from a cleaning lady. And it was because I had a listing, and every day that I would go when the seller was available, it happened to be on a Thursday. So every day, every week for Thursdays at 10 o'clock, I would show up, and I would see the cleaning lady was always there. So I would always bring coffee, pastry. So I asked one time, what the cleaning lady would like. Tilda was her name. So every time I came, I brought something to Tilda. Just because she's a person. And so a few months later, I received a call from Tilda. She's like, I don't know if you remember me. I was a cleaning lady for so-and-so, but I cleaned house for another family, and they're getting ready to sell.
and you were so nice to me. I thought I would call you. Maybe you should call them.
I like that. Writing it down.
So it's not just about chasing the wealth. It's just being good to people, because you never know who they know.
Yeah. Yeah. The
And
law of numbers. The more people you know, the more business you're going to do.
right. And the people that some agents say, and they do say this to me, well, I will never list anything under that. Well, how, or never help a buyer under that. I'm wondering, well, I have, exactly, just be yourself. I have clients that started with me in a condo, and they were just starting at a company, and now they've risen up to VP position, and they've purchased 5 homes with me. So you never know. You just never know. And
Yeah.
to be really genuine and chase the relationship, not the check,
Mm-hmm.
I think is probably the best way to go about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's literally, it's my first piece of advice when I tell people who ask me about getting into real estate. Don't worry about the commission. And it's so easy for us to say because we're this far into it. But once you get that frame of reference and that mindset, you leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else.
Leaps and bounds. So what are you doing to deliver incredible service to your clients? I would love to hear.
Well, that's an interesting conversation. So I'm going to go into it, Erica. So I don't even know where to begin with this. In the past, I was one of 3 owners of a real estate team in Naples. We had that team for about 3 years. And in December, we went from 3 owners and 12 agents down to 2 owners. So it's just 2 of us now. So we are hands-on on everything. And that's our big change right now. So we're just hands-on on everything, magnifying glass, incorporating things that we never did before, such as staging, updating properties for listings. It's essentially like the biggest thing I could say is just we are way more hands-on going into 2023 than we have been for the past 3 years, and it's
Yeah.
we're ready for it.
You can leverage that out. You can leverage that out. Changing toilet seats. I encourage you to leverage that out.
I did it already, so.
Yes.
Hey, those are the steps above and beyond. He is
Yeah.
a full service realtor.
Exactly.
It's true.
Well, so when we were talking about the client experience, and Brady has a surprise and delight, which is wonderful. And I don't know if you all have a copy of that. And if you reach out to him, I'm sure he'll be able to share it. And something that I love is that, for example, when somebody lists with them, or they choose to, they select them to represent them, he sends them a book. It's the one thing, right? So can you imagine receiving a book, it's in a bow, and it's the one thing? Most likely you'll say, that's great, thank you. But it's what he writes. It's the note that comes along with it. Say, Joshua, we are so honored to represent the sale of your home. We want to share our favorite book with you called The One Thing. And we want to let you know that from now on, you will be our one thing. So having a book with a bow versus a book with a bow with just a handwritten card saying that, how impactful is that?
Yeah.
So what are the messages that you're providing in between the service? It's the actions of getting the house ready. What are the things that are really touching them?
Yeah.
So,
You're saying it can't just be communication. Yep.
Yes. So imagine this. I say this in my class, is imagine you are a buyer. You're about to purchase something, your dream vacation home. You've worked really, really hard for this. And when you arrive at the airport, this dream destination, a car is there to pick you up. It drives you to the hotel. You go into the hotel room and you go inside, and there's a card from a realtor with some snacks and cookies and some things for your children to play with. The day that you enter the real estate office, the receptionist comes around the desk to greet you by name, and you haven't even told them your name yet, right? Mark, Caroline's been expecting you. We're so happy you're here. Please come inside. You go to a conference room, again, baskets of toys for your kids. maybe a babysitter to take care of the kids while you go look at the property. So you go into the car with your realtor full of goodies and snacks, things that what you're allergic to are not in there. It's things what you love, a full binder of the map, the routes, the community you're going to see, all the homes, all of that. The day you get into contract, balloons are sent to wherever you are. Say congratulations, right? And then the day that you're picking up, your agent orders pizza for you and the crew so that you don't have to worry about it. The day you're signing, you're signing your closing papers, and a bottle bubbly or whatever your favorite beverage is arrives right when you're signing to say congratulations. On the day that you're leaving your house or you're moving into your home, something shows up, lunch shows up, or if you're selling your home, we ask always, what is your favorite restaurant? If you could have a favorite restaurant, what would that be? And dinner from that favorite restaurant is delivered to the house on your last evening in the home that you've loved. You're moving into your home 2 months later, your realtor throws a welcoming party for you, a neighborhood welcome party, and it's catered, and you invite all the neighbors and all your loved ones. So what does that experience feel like?
Right now for us, it's non-existent, but we're going to change that.
If you're the client, how does that feel to you?
Oh, sorry. No, that's about as luxury as it gets.
Right. And then when there are highs and lows, so it's not just about transactions, it's about the emotional journey as well. There are going to be highs and lows and highs and highs and lows in a buyer and seller journey. So if you understand the journey, so they're coming really, really excited, I'm going to buy something. And they find out that interest rate's 8% and they go, boom, really low. And then they go, oh my gosh, I actually can get something really, really nice. And then they're high again. And then they lose out on offers. So it's this. So when we had a buyer in the crazy market lose out on 10 properties, and she's writing things for 300, 500, 600,000 over asking, we just said, let's take a break this weekend. Here's some tickets to a movie. We'll have your house cleaned, go rest. The right one is there. So being in touch with their emotions is really, really important as well. So have a system in place for all these touch points, all these celebration points that's systematized, and it's also who's going to do it, but also be mindful of the emotional journey as well, and make sure that you're touching them when they're really, really low. And when they're really, really high, that's when you have an opportunity to ask for referrals, right? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe the staging that you did. I mean, this is above and beyond. Oh my gosh, Erica, thank you so much. We really try really, really hard with their stagers. Who else do you know that would love to have a stager like this when they're selling their home? It's a great opportunity when they're really high to ask to be introduced to other people. And when our team, we don't ask for referrals, we ask for introductions. Who else? So it's different, because when people hear referrals, sometimes they kind of recoil a little bit. It's just an introduction. And so just that one change in word, you can see people's faces react differently, and they're more willing to do so. So when you have that luxury experience, when you provide that luxury experience, guess who they're going to be talking about with their friends. You'd be crazy not to use Mark's team. You'd be crazy not to use Matt's team. They're just incredible. But then the thing is, you receive the referral, how are you going to deliver the same experience? Because your referrer's reputation is on the line when they're referring you, right? They're telling you how great you are. They're so wonderful. You can't wait for you to experience them. And then when we get really, really busy, we start losing these touch points and these service points. So really make sure that your system of client care is really dialed in.
I love that. And obviously being in Gene Rivers Market Center for many years, I got to learn a lot about what their team did. And, one of and this doesn't necessarily have to be just for luxury, but one of the things they did was within, when they set the listing appointment and had, the seller pre-qualifying questions, they would ask, where are you right now? And typically the people were at work. And so they would hire a courier. They had a courier on staff that would deliver the pre-listing packet and like a congratulations gift within 30 minutes of setting that appointment. And so it gave them a chance to get into their workplace. And all of a sudden people are going, well, what in the world did you just have delivered? And they would have, specific things delivered throughout the timeline to that office. Again, now you're getting exposure within, and obviously you've got to know the kind of workplace they're in. You don't want to annoy them or become bothersome. But it got people around asking, going, well, my realtor never did this kind of stuff for me.
Right. That's
Well,
amazing.
who is your realtor? And so it exposes you to more than just that seller as well.
Mhm.
Experience that.
I love that. I love that. And we want to be conscious of our P&L, right? So we are in business. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. It could be something extremely thoughtful, right? So something for the kids even. Here's a Baskin Robbins card. Thank you so much for being such an important part of the preparation of the listing. You were such a big part of this. And I know how hard it is to pack up your dinosaurs and your favorite toys, but I promise you, we're going to find your next room and cannot wait for you to select your next room. Here's a Baskin Robbins gift card. Go have some ice cream because you're so adorable and so wonderful. Now, those touches, it could be $10, really matter. Or
Absolutely.
just
Awesome. Any other touches you guys are doing to provide that over the average experience?
I think what's also really important is to personalize it, and that's through active listening. And Mark says we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and it's very true. And so when you're listening to your clients, are you listening to the things? Are you really listening? Are you really understanding who they are? And I'll give you an example. Some of you may have heard this example. I keep saying this because it's a great example of active listening. We had a client, she manages an $8 billion fund. Very powerful woman, comes from the Midwest. And I asked her in the car one day as we're looking at homes, what do you miss about your hometown? And she said, there's this bread my mom used to make, and you can only find like the oats and the ingredients over there. It's in this little town. I never tasted bread like before. And at closing, I could have given her an Hermes scarf. She was a fan of Hermes, and she probably has 30 of them, right? So I could have given, oh, she likes Hermes, I'll give you an Hermes scarf. And she probably would say, thank you very much, this is lovely, and put in a stack. What we showed up with a basket with the recipe, with the ingredients for the bread from her hometown, and said, happy housewarming. And that was less than $50. So $500 scarf, $50 basket of memories. So when you are serving your clients, we are so busy, and we're just kind of checking things off the list and having these just typical conversations. Are you really listening to them? And so if you can catch, like for every single client, if you can catch something that maybe regular professionals may not hear, and you're able to translate that into an action or a sentiment, I think it's going to be very, very powerful for you.
Love it. Anybody else want to share anything on that? Matt, Freddie, Audrina, Katie? Another thing I thought would be good. Oh, sorry, Freddie. I saw you come off mute.
Oh, I just wanted to say this is really amazing conversation regarding, you know, the luxury market and how to actually enter it as a new agent. I'm always looking for different directions to enter. Myself, I actually try to do a lot of more socials of listing opportunities. I'm trying to direct most of my services towards investors from out of state. And so I do a lot of the, you know, the walkthroughs and opportunities. And sometimes I even try to run the numbers of what the profit margin would be for someone looking to invest in this area. But I think this is an amazing conversation to have. And I'm jotting down so many notes of different ways. I know that sometimes, you know, if you put too many notes down, you gotta get lost in the mist. But I think that if you pick a lane and you stick to it, it could be successful.
Thank you, Freddie. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When you have, I'm in Austin Leadership Academy. That's a really cute ringtone. With Leadership Academy, and so we were in a room with Jay Papasan, and he's just, and he said, before we even start this workshop, he said, turn to your last page, and on the top, put parking lot, write parking lot on it. And he says, because before you get to any destination, you have to pull out of the driveway, or you have to pull out of the parking lot, right? So just write parking lot. So during the course or during any class that you're taking, you have that blank page, this parking lot. Any ideas that you want to execute or say, oh my gosh, that was a great idea, just put in a bullet points, just put in the parking lot, put in parking lot. And at the end of the workshop or class, ask yourself, it's not, okay, what am I going to do, right? Because then you get, I want to do everything. So ask yourself, what is one thing that if I did not do it, I would regret? That becomes that one thing that you're going to do and act on it within 24 hours. I thought it was a great idea because then everything's parked there, but then you have one action item to pull you out of the driveway.
That's awesome. I like that. I like that the one thing that you would regret if you don't do it. So yeah, it really narrows down which direction to go in.
It really does. And I know a lot of people are doing their GPSs, or they've just started their GPS, or they're struggling with their GPS. And instead of coming up with what are the 3 priorities I have to do, think of it as, if you flip it and say, what are the 3 things that could get in my way? And if you, so for example, and Wendy Papasan talks about this, I want to shed 20 pounds, right? Well, what am I going to do? I have to do X, so I say there's too many things to do. Well, what are things that are going to get in my way? Well, I probably snack after dinner. It's like, oh, okay, I won't snack after dinner anymore. I don't exercise anytime after 4, so I don't exercise in the morning. So that actually really refocuses if you rephrase that question. What are 3 things that are going to get in my way? And those become your priorities.
That's a great way to look at it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
One of the things I heard, Jeff Woods talk about, and he runs, the One Thing podcast and everything else. He looked at a GPS in a way that I hadn't seen in 9 years. What's the one thing, obviously, that I need to accomplish to hit this goal, right? Your goal. And then if I earn the right to add another thing. So it's almost like narrowing down that GPS instead of the 3, like you said, narrowing it down to 1. And then if you do that at a high level and earn the right to do another one, what would you add?
Right.
So even prioritizing your GPS in a first priority, if that's not done, you don't earn the right to do any of the other things.
I love that.
That was great too.
Narrows it down even more. Anybody else have any questions? What's your market like right now? I'd love to learn more about your market.
I'll speak up. So top agents in this group, they know what's going on in the market.
What's happening? I can wait all day. My flight doesn't leave in another 2 hours. I can wait. Nobody?
Nobody knows what's going on in the market?
So
So if I were a buyer and said, okay, I'm coming from California and I'm looking to spend $3 million, how would you advise me?
Come on, y'all. Amanda, Mark, Josh, you guys are out there every day doing it at a high level.
Mark is playing chess. I don't
Hey, wow, sorry. I really thought someone else would answer. I'm trying to replace this fan, but it is what it is. What's the market doing? The market's kind of stabilizing. We're finally getting more listings than we've had for a long time, which is a good thing, but we still don't have what we had 4 years ago. Days on market are up, but if something is priced properly, it is selling quickly, and it can happen with multiple offers. Regarding the $3 million price question, I mean, ultimately, it's just going to come down to what somebody's looking for. You know, are they looking for an investment property, a secondary home? Are they looking to locate here primarily? I'll have that conversation with you.
Fantastic. Love it.
Mark's
Our
back.
average days on market- Yeah, our average days on market are around 50 right now. Average sale list to sales like at 96 when it was like at 100 or above for 2 years. So there's definitely more wiggle room going on. And new listings have about doubled since Ian.
I see. What is the opportunity in the market right now?
What is the what?
Opportunity.
What is the opportunity, y'all?
Everything. In my humble opinion, I honestly believe that the next 5 to 15 years, our area is going to see an amount of exponential growth that I don't think that we can really estimate right now. The amount of coastal development that I think we're seeing and future development that's being planned is astronomical. And so the price point just keeps getting pushed out east. So effectively, all the developers, people with money, are just buying up everything that they can along the coast. Whole 15-story buildings have been condemned and they're going to get rebought and sold. Margaritaville, the developers there just bought another huge tract of land up there. I'm sure you saw that article. So ultimately, I don't think there's, unless it's Naples Park. I think Naples Park is egregiously overpriced. That's my personal opinion. But other than that, I think everything is a safe bet in the Naples area for probably quite a long time. That being said, I don't write the future.
I love that. So what I'm hearing is a lot of development opportunities.
I think development opportunities in turn create, it's not necessarily the development opportunity, unless we're looking at high net worth. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about everybody. High net worth, yes, development. I think the investment side of things is gonna hold a very long-term play in our area. But even just typical purchases, all of Golden Gate eventually, it's just, I mean, if we look at the price points there, it's insane. But I just think that price point is going to push out so much opportunity. And the thing about Collier County is, instead of going up with density, really, they're kind of pancaking out. And so they're covering a very large area. And I just think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people in the coming years. And people are either going to miss the boat or they're going to hop on.
Do your clients know about this perspective you have?
Yeah, they don't believe me. And it's, I mean, maybe it's my attitude of it at this point.
I would say, it doesn't have to be your clients. You just put that on what you just said with some numbers and put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, wherever you are, and just put it out there. Start putting information out there. And so you want to get, if your clients are not believing in you and what you're saying, people.
It's true.
be people who are ears are gonna be perking up. My ears are perking up. No, don't be like, don't hide your information, share it, because you never know who's going to be watching. You never know who's going to share that information with their friend, right? So when you want to be a thought leader, start coming out being a thought leader in that. We use numbers. We track our numbers every single week: active inventory, pending inventory, new listings, all active inventory, pending, closed, and days on market, canceled, expired, etc. And then that actually becomes a graph. And so we don't say, like, take our word for it, this is what's happening. The numbers show what's happening. So we do it per our county, but you can do really, really, really focused on certain neighborhoods. You can go larger. So when you are looking at the numbers, people will trust the numbers. They don't trust your words, they will trust the numbers. So the numbers can be your backup to what you're saying. So I would highly advise, if you're not doing this already, really track your market that way weekly. And it tells a story. And it's really interesting because when we say we predict this is going to be what's going to be happening next quarter, and it happens, that's proof of, we know what we're talking about. When we say that the numbers are declining and our inventory is increasing, the prices are decreasing, and the sellers don't believe you. But then you see, we had a seller say, well, I believe my house is worth $4 million. And then when he now will say, gosh, it would be at 3.5. So you use those numbers to do the heavy lifting for you.
Hey, Erica, we take what Broker Jeff gives us, the graphs, and then we do like a YouTube video and we put that in our listings. So when we go, they see the numbers, but they also have us speaking so they can go back and re-listen to that as well. So
That's a great idea. Yeah, I was going to say, Broker Jeff does those really in-depth market analyses every team meeting that we have. So every 2 weeks you have new graphics, and that's a great way to utilize those and just R&D.
I love that. So who's doing it at a high level that you can just take, kind of rephrasing your words, or even use their graph. Keeping Current Matters is a great resource as well. They're not alarmists. They present information in a very level-headed, calm way. And so Keeping Current Matters is something, and they actually can give you, I think if you subscribe to them, they will actually give you scripts to use. We're going totally off topic, but I wanted to show this to you, and I think it's valuable. Video, I asked somebody who was in the industry, he's kind of a thought leader, and I said, where is content going next? And he said, definitely Instagram. And he's like, TikTok. I know a lot of you don't like TikTok, but it's going there. And I said, well, what is the number of times we need to be posting? And he said, look, and I say, we always want to wait until we have really great content to post. He said, Caroline, that doesn't matter. It's the frequency and it's the algorithm that's going to push it out. So there are agents out there not providing great content, but they're posting consistently. That's gaining a ton of followings and getting a lot of business. And so he's like, if you're just waiting for the perfect content or perfect script, don't do it, just post. So I'm not great with speaking into a camera. And there's this app called Teleprompter. So you can put what you're going to say into that. So here you go. Here's, for example, I wanted to talk about a 5-1 arm, right? So I don't know if you can see this. So my script is there and I press start. And then you can control the speed or anything. So it's recording and you're reading at eye level here. So it looks like you're looking at the camera. So it's all on your phone. And it's great to use. If you are hesitant to be on camera, this is a great source for you to use. And this teleprompter is free.
I am definitely going to get that because there's nothing worse than being like 2 minutes into a video and then you're like, completely forgot where the rest of your sentence was going, and then you got to.
It's really easy to use, and for longer format videos, I use that. Hi, Matt.
Hey guys, sorry my connection's been really bad, but I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this call. I'm just getting into the luxury market as an agent, but I've been in the luxury hotel business for a long time before I got into real estate with Ritz-Carlton and Four Seasons. And I know that, Caroline, I'm not sure what your exposure would be with the matter of the Erica had mentioned the Ritz-Carlton residences, and I know the Four Seasons residences are also coming to Naples. That is not really a big part of our market in Southwest Florida. We don't have a ton of a timeshare market here. We don't have very much luxury hotel residences in Southwest Florida, especially Naples. They're just coming into the foyer of our market. Have you ever had any experience in terms of that product marketing and that to the luxury market and, dealing with that as an agent from this perspective?
Sure. Sarita Dua, who's the regional ambassador for luxury in Portland, she had the listing for the Ritz-Carlton residences, the new one. So I would highly recommend that you connect with her. She got pretty far along. I know she stepped away from it because of something that was happening, but she has gotten pretty far with the marketing with them and how they deal with it and how you would market.
Thank you, Caroline. That's so great. And you're right. I saw her during COVID, I think, on it was an online conference during COVID that she did some speaking on that from Portland. And I think I remember her talking about that. So that's a great reference. The luxury market, do you feel like is it a different luxury consumer than our typical luxury consumer?
I think you have such an opportunity here to market to our agents within the luxury community. And because they have clients, clients wanting to purchase a vacation home or something of that caliber, there. So gosh, if you could be able to do a few videos with them, introduce it and just blast it out and be very intentional, and look at our top luxury agents. Not even has to be to our top luxury agents. It could be an agent within our community that's not in our community, right? Sports and entertainment. That's another community where you would see a lot of high net worth clients who would have the ability to purchase there. I would suggest you really get information about it, do some videos with it, some tours even, and start sending it out, very purposeful emails to the luxury community. And in Facebook, are you involved in the KW Luxury Official Facebook page? Are you on it? So everybody, there are several Keller Williams luxury Facebook pages out there. The official one is KW Luxury Official. So if you are not part of it, anybody can join and just request to be a part of it, answer a few questions, abide by the rules of the community, and then your role, your email, your contact information, and you'll be able to be a part of the community and be great there. Thank you, Erica. And Mark is so awesome. Mark is always on there commenting, sharing, and also raising the red flags on a few things that shouldn't be in there. Thank you, Mark.
I love it. Well, any last final thoughts, ideas, questions for Caroline as we wrap up? Did she give us some really good info or what?
Thank you, Caroline. You always come from contribution. We appreciate your giving us your
Okay.
time today and sharing your experiences.
Yes,
Thank you for
thank
everything
Caroline.
you do for the community, Mark. My pleasure.
Yeah. And so Caroline, I think a great way
Good
to
luck
wrap
with the fan,
up is,
Joshua.
oh, sorry, what? I'm behind. What's the one thing, who wants to share the one thing that they're going to implement in the next 24 hours so that it has a higher chance of success?
Funny enough, I already did the Ritz tour, so I might beat Matt on the videos because I already have the footage.
Matt better hustle. I love that. Anyone else?
Well, just to say that I was such an inspirational to hear from you, Caroline. I just started. That's probably my fourth meeting with Keller Williams. So that's great, and inspirational to hear a lot of great stuff. And the personalize and prioritize your customer. So that's very great to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I hope to see you in person at some in-person events. We have so many events coming up. We have family reunion, we have spring masterminds, we have fall masterminds, we have the luxury symposium, and I can tell you, luxury symposium this year is going to be at the Biltmore in Scottsdale, and that's going to be piggybacking on fall masterminds. Yeah, it's going to be really nice. We wanted to take you somewhere warm. Boston was a little chilly when we were there last year. Yeah. So to end off, if anybody wants to learn more about how to build a luxury business, we wrote a class called the 4 Essential Pillars. It was Introduction to Luxury. We've just renamed it because people were confused what that was. So it's called 4 Essential Pillars to Build Your Luxury Business. It's a full day workshop that I lead and I teach. And you will come out with actionable items to build your culture story. You cannot build a brand without knowing who you are. So we'll build your culture story, we'll build your brand, we'll build your service standards, and then you're going to walk out with strategy. It is $299 per person. And Erica, some market centers and some regions are asking me to come out. So if you have anybody interested, you want me to put me in touch so that more people can have access to it, please let me know. Please reach out.
Absolutely. I think that would be a great thing to kind of get our Southwest market centers all in for too. That'd be great.
And there are individual Zoom classes too. So we're just shoring up that schedule.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. And thank you, Caroline. Safe travels.
Thank you so much. Bye. Be safe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.